One of the most confusing and overwhelming parts of setting up your Facebook ads can be the whole tech side and figuring out what is the Facebook pixel. So today I'm going to walk you through how exactly to set it up, what it is, and why is it critical to have it set up correctly so that you're getting the results that you're looking for, especially as you're running certain types of ads. So I'm Brian Czekanski. I'm a Facebook ad copywriter. I focus on those businesses and coaches that have moms as their audience. I am not tech savvy or tech expert by any means. So I'm going to show you at a very basic level. I'm going to go as slow as I can, walk you through each of these various different things. When I first launched ads for myself, this was kind of the part where I always kind of stumbled and kind of just questioned, like, okay, did I do this correctly? Did I not? Is it seem to be working? Those kind of things. So I'm going to walk you through exactly how to really think about it. I'm going to, give you all the screens that you're looking for. If you're watching this live, feel free to drop a comment. If you have any questions along the way, I'll be glad to answer those. And as we go along, I'll give you a little bit more context on what is this Facebook pixel, why does it make a difference, and why do you have it? Why do you have to have it on the correct page to make sure that you're signaling to Facebook what you want those end leads or end clients want them to do? So let's start with number one, like what is the Facebook pixel? It's really a line of computer code that allows Facebook to track any users that go off of Facebook onto your landing page or sales pages or things like that. So this is really critical because if you're looking for leads and clients at the end of the day, it's the end result that you want from your Facebook ads, you want to be running a conversion ad. So this is really, this is where it's going to go hand in hand. So anytime you're running a conversion ad, you need to set up a Facebook pixel onto whatever page that you're sending. Like once they click on that ad and go to your landing page or your sales page, some people run their ads straight to their website. Not something I would advise, but again, if you're running it to your website, you need to have the Facebook pixel on there. And think of the Facebook pixel as, as you take somebody that is viewing and clicking on your ad within the Facebook ecosystem, and as they go outside of the Facebook ecosystem onto your page, think of it as kind of like a spider web. So like the Facebook pixel just allows Facebook to follow that person to that page and kind of be like a spider on the wall or a fly on the wall, and just kind of track what actions do they take. So at the end of the day, you're running conversion ads. You want people to go to your landing page or your sales page and actually follow through, whether it's an opt-in or purchase or all those kind of things. So by putting your Facebook, by putting that line of code on your landing page or your sales page or your website, you allow Facebook to follow that person, from Facebook to that end page you're looking for, and kind of follow what actions do they take. And ultimately, we're going to optimize for that thank you page, and I'll show you that in just a second. We always want to be optimizing for that thank you page because that's ultimately the action that you want people to take. You want them to fill in their credit card information. If they're opting in for one of your lead magnets, you want them to put their first name, last name, email address, and hit that submit button, and ultimately end up in your thank you page. This is really, really important because the Facebook algorithm doesn't know what page to optimize for. So again, if you put the Facebook pixel on, the page where they're putting in their information, Facebook is only going to optimize for those people that get to that page, but don't actually ultimately take the action that you're looking for. So by using the Facebook pixel and setting up correctly, we're going to make sure that Facebook can kind of monitor those people that actually take the action that you want. They get to that thank you page, they've bought your product, they bought your service, they've opted in for your email address, whatever it is, and then Facebook can use this algorithm and take a look at all the data that it has within that targeting network that you do have set up, and it can find those people that fit the characteristics of the people that actually took the actions, on that first time. So again, and once somebody becomes a buyer, like, say for example, you're selling a service, your coaching service. So once they opt in, they purchased, they put their credit card down, that purchase has gone through. What Facebook is going to do is going to take a look at that person, all its personal characteristics, and it's going to try and find those similar people within the same market. And those are the people that it's going to put the ad in front of. And if those people take action and they buy from it, obviously along the way, Facebook is going to collect that data and pair it with the other buyers that you do have, and try to find the people that are most like them within the market. So as it goes along, and as Facebook is collecting data, it gets better and better in terms of like who we should exactly put that ad in front of, because they're most likely to take action. They have all the characteristics of those people that have been buyers before. And that's kind of the beauty of, and that's the power of Facebook ads, is you can really use the algorithm to get you going in the right direction and use that data along the way. So again, it can seem pretty complicated. Again, for me, like the first time I did it, thinking about computer code and not really understanding it, like what does this mean? All those kind of things. Just really think about it, and I'll show you what the code looks like. It's just kind of a couple different lines that, again, doesn't mean too much to you or me who don't have a lot of tech expertise. But the idea is just kind of copying and pasting that computer code on whatever landing page software you're using or sales page software you're using. Allows Facebook to see what visitors are coming to that page and what actions they're taking, so they can kind of optimize for the result that you're looking for along the way. So again, this is just for Facebook conversion ads, which is really what you should be running if you're looking for leads or clients at the end of the day from your Facebook ads. No other strategies, no traffic, no lead generation, none of those things. You should be running with conversion ads and using the Facebook pixel along the way. So let's just I'll share my screen. I'll go into Business Manager and kind of show you step by step how this process works, how to kind of go in, how do I create the Facebook pixel and what does it look like? And then I'll get into a little bit more detail and context as we go along. So I share my screen right here. This is just the, kind of the front end of Business Manager. So this is mine. I'm going to go down the page here. I'm going to go to more tools. That. And then I'm going to go down to Events Manager. So Events Manager is really where the conversion and all the setup kind of exists. If you remember to some of the other videos that I made in terms of aggregated events measurement, you would find that here as well. So one of the things I would start with is at the top right-hand side here. Is the one thing I want to make sure is that this is showing my business page right here. What I want to switch it to is my ad account. So this is my ad account right here. I want to switch it to that because I want my pixel associated with my ad account, because when I go and create an ad, I can easily associate it with that same ad account and make it a lot easier in terms of creating the ad and associating that pixel with what we're doing here. So what we're going to do is go to, we're going to go over here, this little button right here, and we're going to go to connect data sources. So that just means data sources just means the Facebook pixel. So here you have a couple different options. You have a website, you have an app, offline, or CRM. For most people, it's just going to be the web. For me, it's going to be the web, just some kind of website. And I'm going to hit connect. And here's another one as well. Like the first thing I would say in terms of Facebook pixel, the easiest way to make it, the easiest way to get away from, having to deal with computer code altogether is seeing if your WordPress or ClickFunnels or lead pages has some kind of integration. Facebook has been doing more and more in terms of these integrations in the past few months, especially since the Apple iOS update. So one of those things is really check if your landing page software, whatever you use to, wherever you're going to send people to, let's see if there's an integration. So for example, I use ClickFunnels as my provider from a landing page perspective. So this is under my account settings. And if I go under integrations right here, you can see Facebook ad integration is right here. So this makes it a little bit easier. Again, I don't even have to deal with any code or anything like that. I can just set up an integration and do it this way. And then I can, in each of the pages, you'll see something, and I'll show you that in just a second, where you can just make it really easy to not even have to copy and post. There's kind of a drop down that you can have in terms of your integrations. So if you're using WordPress, you're using ClickFunnels, lead pages, Another one as well, if I show you just bucket, if you're running a quiz funnel, here's another one. If I go into the settings of my, whatever quiz funnel I'm using, go down a little bit further in terms of integrations. You can see Facebook is one of those as well. You can see for this one, I actually did have to paste in the code in there. But again, it just makes it a little bit easier when you have integrations out there. So the first thing you should do is just look for those integrations as much as possible. And if I go back to Business Manager, that's what it's really talking about, a conversions API. There's kind of that direct integration between whatever software you're using and what Facebook has out there. What I'm going to presume is, for this example, if you're not able to find that integration, the integration is obviously the easiest way to do it. Makes it a lot easier. You'll have a drop-down box versus like copying and pasting computer code. But if you're not able to find that for whatever reason, or it's just a little bit too complicated, I'm going to show you kind of the more standard option, which is just kind of clicking on Facebook Pixel right here. And then I'm going to just hit connect. And it's just going to give you a, kind of a, like what is, how to, like what is the pixel all about? Like all the things that I just said. It's all about kind of capturing those customer actions on your specific page. So right now it's just going to ask you to kind of name your pixel. So again, you can have multiple pixels within your business manager. So I think for you, it's just really characterizing like, okay, what is this for? So like for this one, I'm just going to make it up. I've got a new opt-in that you might be watching this video on called Full Confidence Ads. And it's just a video training series that I've got that again you might be watching right now. And I'm just gonna specify that it's the landing page, just so I know like I'm using this pixel for this altogether. And again, if you want to paste in and actually check your website here, that's an easy way to do it, but I'm just going to leave that blank for right now. So if you wanted to put something in here, this is an easy way. If you put in that website, maybe they can find some integrations, especially if you're using, again, it says WordPress, Shopify, Squarespace. All those should have some kind of partner integration. So you can kind of, it can just be an easier step where you don't have to copy and paste code in there. But I'm going to presume that for whatever reason, you haven't been able to find that. I'm going to hit continue. So now you can see here, it's actually been set up. So now it's going to ask you again, do you want to use a partner integration, or do you want to manually add that pixel code to the website? So again, if you can find that partner integration, makes it really easy. It'll use that partner. It'll give you a list of partners that are in there. I'm going to choose to install the code manually, just so I can show you kind of, again, if you can't find that partner integration, here's what it's going to look like. So it's going to actually give you step-by-step instructions. Again, the pixel code is a snippet of JavaScript computer code. Like what this computer code actually says is not really as important to you, but I'm just going to copy and paste it. So I'm going to copy this code, and it's going to show you step by step. So again, I'm going to go to my website. I'm going to paste in the code at the bottom of the header section, just above the head tag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to ClickFunnels where my opt-in is set up. Just give me a second to, so I've got my opt-in here for Full Confidence Ads. And I'm going to go within ClickFunnels, it's under settings. Again, if you have a word price set up or things like that, you're going to see something similar. Ultimately, we're going to try to come to the page. It's usually within settings or something like that, where you get kind of the head tracking code is what we're looking for. There's a body tracking code, head tracking code. I'm going to click on this one just because, this, again, following the directions of Facebook and kind of the proper way to do it is, and I'm just going to copy and paste it in here. So again, that's kind of as, that's as difficult as it gets, just kind of just copying and pasting it over. And this for, like for this one, again, just make sure that if there is a save button that you hit saved, just so that computer code is locked in there. Again, if I show you the same thing within Bucket, again, this is for quiz funnels. this was kind of the one step that I had as well. So like a Facebook pixel code, just copy and paste it, put my cursor in this box, hit paste, and that was kind of the extent of what I had to do as well. So that's kind of the heavy lifting that you have to do in terms of just making sure that you're copying and pasting it into the right place. So I've done that now. If I just come back, again, just step 1, step 2. For this one, I'm gonna hit continue. Again, automatic advanced matching. You do have the option here to use that information. I usually turn it on just because it allows Facebook to, if it allows Facebook to take that information that it already has about that user and kind of track that by using the pixel off, like on your landing page as well. So again, the more information that Facebook has from a data perspective, the more likely it is to kind of optimize in the right direction and get you, put your ads in front of the right people. So again, make your choice there, but I usually turn it on just to give Facebook a little bit more information. And then this is kind of the next part. It's kind of setting up an event, like setting up your events. So in terms of a conversion event, you have to really let Facebook know, like, what are we optimizing for? Or, like if you're an e-commerce company, you might be just optimizing for people actually making a purchase. If you're a coach, it might be an opt-in for a lead magnet. It might be scheduling a free call with you. There's so many different possibilities, but let's just take the example of, you have a product or a service and we want them to actually go forward and make a purchase. So what we want to do is kind of open this up and set up, like, okay, what is that page that we really want to optimize for? And again, this is where it's really important to make sure that you are giving Facebook the right information and letting them know, like, okay, this is the exact page that I want them to go to. So again, go back to my ClickFunnels page. My opt-in just has 2 pages here. So I have the page where people are opting in with their name, their email address, and their last name, and then the thank you page. So I'm going to go to the thank you page and I'm going to actually look at that address, and that's the address that I want. You always want to be focusing on that thank you page, like, again, that end result page that you want people to go to. Again, I've seen it time and time again where people make the mistake of putting it on the page where they put the information, like where they have to put in the information. That's not what you want to optimize for. It's kind of that next page in terms of that setup. So what I did is I just copied and pasted, copied the page that I want ultimately Facebook to optimize for. I'm just going to copy and paste it in here. Again, they don't have a way of checking this just because it's within ClickFunnels, which is fine. So kind of the additional step that I have to take to set up the event is actually putting another line of code in there. So for me, I have to go back and, just because I've done this before, there's just kind of a little line, and this is kind of within Bucket as well. I go back to the tracking code, and it's just kind of like this little line of code that, again, Facebook provides, but it's really this line of copy that I want. And it's within the body copy. So we put the actual Facebook pixel code in our our header. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. I can certainly put this in the links down below where you can see the exact same pixel, like tracking code that you can put into your funnel if you want to. So I'm going to go back to this, and I'm just going to open up and edit the page just to show you where this goes to. So you want to actually go to that specific page that you want Facebook to optimize for, and you'll see this within ClickFunnels, what it looks like. But ultimately, we want to let them know when somebody gets to this page, that's the one that we want to optimize for. So I'm going to go to, for this one, again, if I had set up the Facebook pixel integration, I would go to this one, and this is where I could do a drop down and make it really easy. But just say, again, the more difficult way of doing it, you haven't figured out the integration, you go down to tracking code. So tracking code for this specific page. Again, I'm looking at the footer code for this one, and this is where I'm going to just copy in this line of code. So what this signifies as well is like right here in the middle, you can see a lead is kind of what it's called. And that's ultimately what I'm looking for like anytime somebody hits this thank you page for Facebook to consider them a lead. And that's really what I'm optimizing for. Again, if you're an e-commerce company or something like you were selling something, instead of calling it a lead, you could call it a purchase, like whatever it is. You're just kind of letting Facebook know, like, okay, what is that event that I'm optimizing for, and what do I want you to ultimately show along the way. So I go to preview. Let's just see if this works. And kind of the additional step, especially when you set up the pixel code, is downloading something on a Google extension called the Facebook Pixel Helper. So again, once I click on this, it'll tell me, and you can see right here, I set it up as a lead. This is kind of just my additional check to make sure that the Facebook Pixel is set up correctly, that I actually have the lead on this specific page, and then it's all set up. Like, again, like especially as you're going through lines of code and things like that, let me make sure that it's set up correctly, especially if you're using integration, but also if you're just copying and pasting in the code, like let me make sure it works. And the Facebook Pixel Helper is just something, it's a free tool that you can download. Again, just kind of Google search it, Facebook Pixel Helper, Google extension, and it'll pop up right here. You can use this for your pages, but also other people's pages to see if they have a pixel set up. So you can see from this, just this drop down right here, if you can see it on the screen, it just tells me that there is a pixel set up. And then below that, it's, this page is designated as a lead. So it's all set up correctly the way I want it to. And that was kind of the same thing here in terms of bucket. Why I had this in here. I want to designate people as a lead once they go through that quiz. I want to designate those people as a lead. So that's why I have the body tracking code right here. Again, it makes it a lot easier if you can just do those integrations. You can kind of signify once people get to certain pages and let Facebook know, like, okay, once they get to that opt-in page, maybe you signify it as one thing. Once they get to that thank you page, it's a lead. Again, if you're an e-commerce company, you can kind of characterize it by, did they get to the checkout page but not actually check out? Did they actually get to the checkout page? Were they just kind of browsing along the way? So it provides a lot of ways of kind of characterizing people that are going to your pages and setting it up that way. So I've kind of gone through all this. I've set up the event tool. So I'm just going to go through. Again, in a separate video, what I did is kind of went through all the verifying of domains. So at this point, I'm not going to, I can just go through the process here to just show you what it looks like. So here's my domain. I've already added that. So you can see fullconfidenceads.com. In one of my prior videos, I went through and actually showed you how to do this one by one, like step by step. So this is important, especially with the Apple iOS changes that came through. Facebook and Apple are requiring you to kind of upload your domain, make sure it's verified. And this is ultimately where it's going to come through within your business settings. Under domains, you're going to be able to see your domains here. So it's just an important step, especially as you're setting up the pixel. So I'll link to that video above this just so you can see what it looks like. But again, as you set up your conversion ads, and in addition to setting up the pixel, you want to verify your domain, but you also want to set up those aggregated event measurements. Again, another video that I put together and kind of step-by-step on how to do that. So again, even before you set up your conversion ad, you want to make sure you set up your pixel, done the domain verification, but also the aggregated event measurement to make sure that is all running correctly and it's all set up so that once you get into Ads Manager and actually create an ad, it all links up pretty clearly as we go through with that. So let me just, kind of as we kind of wrap up here, let me just kind of sum up everything I talked about. So the Facebook Pixel is just really a line of computer code that allows Facebook to follow that user once they click on your ad and go to one of your outside landing pages or sales pages, allows them to follow that person to that page and see if they actually take the action that you're looking for. So if they go to that page and immediately close the window, Facebook will have, we'll be able to track that. If they actually go through and put in their information and either opt in or buy and go to that next page, Facebook will be able to track that information, be able to kind of track, match that back to their Facebook information as well. Again, what we're really using for Facebook ads, and really the idea of using conversion ads, is once people take the action that we're looking for. So again, take the example of somebody buying your services. They went to that thank you page. Facebook then has the opportunity to say, like, okay, here's our list of buyers. Like, who else in the target market is just like them and is most likely to take the action that we're looking for. So they will take that ad and start putting it in front of more specific people. And what that'll do over time is lower your lead costs and hopefully lead to more purchases over time, or more buyers over time. So that, again, as the Facebook algorithm gets smarter and smarter, as it gets more and more data, it makes it more likely that they're putting the ads in front of the right people. Again, that keeps your lead cost really low, but also increases your chances that the more impressions that you get, the more times that Facebook is putting that ad in front of the right people, that they're more likely to buy. So really using the technology around that. But again, it can be really overwhelming, especially if you're setting up a pixel code for the first time. I showed you the more difficult route in terms of actually copying and pasting that code into your actual website and specific pages. Obviously, the easier way to do it is kind of looking for those partner integrations. And again, Facebook has been doing more and more of that over the last few months to make it as easy as possible for you to kind of get this set up and get you running in terms of ads right away. So again, look for those partner integrations, whether you have WordPress, ClickFunnels, Lead Pages, Bucket, all those have various different integrations that will you to kind of make it a lot easier in terms of a drop-down menu versus having to copy and paste that in there. But again, as you can see within My Business Manager, Facebook was trying to make it as easy as possible, kind of giving you step-by-step instructions on how to do that. Again, use this video as you go along. Obviously let me know in the comments below as you go about doing this. As you have any questions, happy to kind of troubleshoot anything that you're going through as well. But that's really the idea, is really setting it up, making sure your Facebook pixel is actually on that page that you want your users to get through. So you don't want the Facebook pixel to optimize for a lead in terms of where they put their credit card information or where they put their first name, last name, or email address. You want to do it on the page that you ultimately want them to get through. You want them to hit that submit button, get to your thank you page, or get to that first upsell. And that's what you want Facebook to optimize for. So just make sure that is setting up the right page and letting Facebook know, like, okay, what's the actual conversion event that I want to happen? Because Facebook can't guess. So making sure that it's on the right page allows you to kind of optimize for the right person and getting that all together. So that's really important in terms of setting that up. Again, I showed you this in the video here, so feel free to rewind and take a look at that as we go along. And I think that covers a lot of the iOS type of updates as well, in terms of putting the pixel code for your conversion ad, but also domain verification and aggregated event measurement. So take a look at some of my prior lives as well, where I went through domain verification, aggregated event measurement, which are really important and kind of are an extension of the Facebook pixel as well. So with that, I'll be back for another live tomorrow. Thanks.